Welcome to this week's Construction Bulletin on Africa, brought to you by Construction Review, Africa's leading construction journal. I'm Eric Maingi. In this week's news, CFC Stanbic to build 58.6 million shopping mall in Nairobi, Zema approves 450 million new acid plant in Zambia, Egyptian industrial zone to be established in Algeria, WSP launches future cities, and China gives Niger 25.6 million for hospital construction. And finally, Tanzania local contractors now get lion's share of construction business. Welcome. We begin our bulletin in Kenya. The investment banking subsidiary of CFC Stanbic Group has announced plans to construct a $58.6 million shopping mall in Nairobi in a bid to cash in on Kenya's booming property market. Stanbic Investment Management Services, which has now been rebranded to Stanlib, will raise the funds by inviting investors to pool their resources with the promise of getting a return after 5 to 7 years. According to Stanlib Regional Director James Muratha, the Nairobi shopping mall is Stanlib's first direct venture into the real estate market and will be developed in partnership with South Africa. In August, Johannesburg-based Stanlib Asset Management announced it planned to raise $645.2 million by early 2014 to meet the fast-growing demand for retail and commercial infrastructure in Africa. The firm had also set a target to raise $152 million by November this year for acquiring land and beginning construction on 5 projects in Kenya and Nigeria. Stanlib joins a growing number of high-net-worth investors in venturing into the Kenyan property market to ride a housing boom fueled by a burgeoning middle class with growing disposable incomes. Over now to Zambia, where the Zambia Environment Management Agency ZEMA has approved the construction of the $450 million second acid plant by Mopani Copper Mines in Mufulira as part of the current smelter upgrade project. The smelter upgrade project is aimed at enhancing the smelting capacity and the reduction of sulfur dioxide emissions by over 95%. The acid plant has a design production capacity of over 850 tons per annum, which is twice the capacity of the first acid plant, which was installed in 2007 and currently captured and converted about 50% of sulfur dioxide emissions. The upgrade is scheduled to be completed by December 2013. MCM Chief Executive Officer Danny Carlos said that the approval of the project is a huge milestone because the acid plant was one of the key components in elimination of sulfur dioxide, adding that the plant will capture and convert sulfur dioxide into sulfuric acid, leaving the environment clean and sustainable. He added that MCM was determined to address the issue of sulfur dioxide emissions forever with the support of government, saying this during his 2-day visit to Algeria. While addressing a press conference, Kondil said his visit was meant to increase the flow of Egyptian investments to Algeria. He talked about an ambitious plan to build about 2.5 million residential units in Algeria until the end of 2014, noting that the Egyptian construction companies will have a big share in this project. Kondil said the Egyptian government encourages businessmen to put their money into projects in Algeria, adding that the Algerian President Abdelaziz Bouteflika had promised to give them all the support they needed. Kondil told reporters that it had also been agreed that Egypt imports gas from Algeria, but the exact amount is yet to be determined. An Algerian delegation is due into Cairo to discuss an agreement on refining Algerian crude oil in Egypt. Niger. China and Niger has signed 2 aid agreements of $25.6 million for the construction of a national referral hospital in Niamey and the purchase of 30 vehicles valued at about $1.9 million. The agreement was signed in Niamey between Niger's Cooperative Minister Bazoum Mohamed and the Chinese ambassador to Niger. The signing of the agreement will pave the way for the kickoff of the construction work of the referral hospital in Niamey. The hospital, which will have a bed capacity of 500, will be the biggest and most modern hospital in the country. During the signing ceremony, the minister noted that through this gesture, China had demonstrated its support for the government's efforts to implement the social programs of President Issoufou. Mohamed said cooperation between China and Niger is a model South-South cooperation, which is founded on mutual understanding and effective solidarity between two countries. He thanked China for its involvement in efforts to improve the living conditions of the Nigerian population. In Tanzania, the Contractors Registration Board (CBR) of Tanzania has said more than 90% of small construction projects not exceeding 1 billion Tanzania shillings each are being undertaken by local contractors, a sign of improved domestic capacity in the sector. The CRB Registrar, Mr. Boniface Muhegi, said in Dar es Salaam that the growing financial muscle among domestic contractors has helped to further lower the gap on the market share with foreigners to around 55% from 70% recorded a couple of years ago. He said despite the challenges facing the construction sector like difficulties in accessing finances, domestic contractors have progressively posted outstanding performance in acquiring projects as well as improving the quality of works, adding that the government through the Public Procurement Regulatory Authority has been firm in ensuring that local contractors are given priority in the tendering process, a move that has significantly enhanced their capacities. However, he said one of the challenges that remained was the small capacity of local contractors to compete in undertaking large-scale projects. He recommended local contractors to team up in order to increase their chances of winning large projects. Finally, in South Africa, WSP has launched Future Cities. Eric Noah of WSP Green by Design says WSP Future Cities Africa is a service that provides quantified analysis of urban design and infrastructure in sustainability terms and the delivery of urban solutions for a sustainable future in the natural and built environment. According to presentations delivered by thought leaders at the launch, WSP has done a lot of thinking around this. Through the Future Cities business, they aim to make an important contribution in helping their clients transform existing urban areas and develop new cities. WSP's Future Cities approach also includes tackling social issues. During his presentation, Richard Palmer's WSP specialist in precinct analysis said 2% of the built environment is designed by architects and the informal must be accounted for. WSP brings international experience to support the delivery of local projects, leveraging the skills of people across the globe, their networks and their partner relationships to offer a joint integrated approach. For cities to flourish and succeed in meeting the aspirations of many, it is the responsibility of engineers to strive to balance society's expectations with what the environment can sustain while maintaining their economic competitiveness. And that's it for today. Thank you for choosing to watch Construction Review News. For more news, the digital version of our print edition, a directory and much more on the construction industry, you can find us at constructionreviewonline.com. Until next week, I'm Eric.